Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. Chemung County's $1 million bid on the five-star bank in Elmira has been accepted. Our Maggie Hall tells us about the plans for the building and has reactions to the bid.
The acquisition of this building behind me has been approved by Chemung County Legislature. If the deal goes through, the use of the building will be up to Chemung County Executive Christopher Moss. The building, formerly a five-star bank, sits at 150 Lake Street, surrounded by commercial real estate and, more importantly, Chemung County offices, the Chemung County Jail, and the courthouse.
I think maybe it would give us an option to look at where everyone is and what spaces are leased in reference to county entities, and trying to just consolidate us more and bring us all back to the same neighborhood.
The building, if purchased by the county, would potentially hold the county clerk's office, the county DA, and other possible county departments.
Well, I believe that it will ultimately save the county money. The property will come off the tax rolls. However, the amount of money that the county saves, which then eventually gets passed on to the taxpayer, is going to it will pay for itself.
The building would give current county offices a larger space.
We really, in almost every department, things are very squished and very tight, and there's lots of things that could be moved around to be more efficient.
Big Fox News will continue to update you on this developing story. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Elmira.
A Bath man pleaded guilty today to drug charges stemming back from 2022. 25-year-old Gerald Barclay pleaded guilty to the possession and intent to distribute 5 grams or more of methamphetamine charges. Barclay's home was searched back in August, where state police found nearly 200 grams of pure methamphetamine. Barclay faces up to 40 years in prison and a $5 million fine. The city of Elmira has removed several tons of trash from under Clemens Center Bridge. Over the course of 2 days last week, nearly 7 tons of garbage and mattresses were removed from the bridge's south side. 8 truckloads of trash were taken to the Chemung County landfill, removing the last remnants of the former homeless encampment. A new travel center in Irwin has been approved for the next steps in the planning process following a planning board meeting earlier this week. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg tells us what's next for the former Ames Plaza.
The former Ames Plaza in the town of Irwin has been sitting idle for months, but a new convenience store chain is looking to finally bring new life to the lot.
Quickly's is an organization that does travel centers, and they would like to establish a new travel center on this site on Victory Highway.
Quickly's is proposing a new 12,000 square foot building that would include a convenience store, sit-down restaurant, fast food restaurant, and more. Some of the talking points regarding the new travel center include traffic impact, local laws prohibiting truck stops, and the placement of the current Firestone building. After receiving approval to move on to the next stage of planning, Quickly's will now work on conducting a traffic study to see the impact the new travel center may have. As far as Irwin's truck stop laws, Quickly's has proposed a special building that would comply with the town's local laws.
What Quickly's is proposing is that in this 3-sided building with a roof, so you would never see these trucks, that a truck that needs to park and not move its wheels for 7 hours would pull into this building.
Lastly, Quickly's is working to find a solution for the Firestone building that is already on site.
Quickly's states that it's in negotiations with Firestone. It would like to relocate Firestone within the 2 parcels combined.
Once Quickly's reaches the final stages of approval, a public meeting will be held to allow you to voice your thoughts on the new travel center before the planning board gives final approval. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Irwin.
May is Trauma Awareness, and the Red Cross needs your help. Blood donations are needed to ensure stable blood supply is available in sudden trauma scenarios. O negative, the universal donor blood type, is especially essential to critical emergencies. If you are blood type O negative or you just want to donate, go to the Red Cross's website. There will be a free Narcan training at the Tioga Downs Hotel. Guthrie anesthesiology residents will conduct the training on how to help treat an overdose. People will learn how to identify an overdose and how to obtain and use Narcan in emergencies. The program is open to the public and will take place on May 7th at 1 p.m. at the Tioga Downs Hotel. The Surgeon General declaring the latest public health epidemic as more and more Americans report feelings of loneliness and isolation. These are feelings, health experts say, that are a major threat to health, with loneliness increasing the risk of premature death by 26% and social isolation by 29%. CB Cotton has the story.
Loneliness is far more than just a bad feeling.
This is a new warning from U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy, the country's top doc, releasing an 81-page report finding widespread loneliness and isolation in America poses health risk as deadly as smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day.
Loneliness and isolation are associated with a greater risk of heart disease, dementia, stroke, depression, anxiety, and premature death.
And if you suffer from loneliness and isolation, you're not alone, with 1 in every 2 adults experiencing those feelings, the Surgeon General declaring it the latest public health epidemic.
Social connection is as fundamental to our mental and physical health as food, water, and sleep.
Research shows the increase in cases stems from people spending less time with friends and family, reduced attendance at houses of worship, and decreased involvement with community organizations. Another major contributing factor, the COVID-19 pandemic, when millions were forced to isolate. Loneliness costs the health industry billions of dollars annually. The report is not expected to lead to federal funding or initiatives to combat the problem, but lays out a framework for people, businesses, and organizations to make changes to boost connectivity.
It's really important that we commit to spending less time with screens and more time with other people.
The report showing social media also contributes to the epidemic, citing those who spend 2 or more hours on the platforms doubled their risk of feeling isolated. In New York, CB Cotton, Fox News.
Well, the nice weather looks like it could be moving out for some rainy days ahead. We'll have more in your complete forecast. Plus, an 83-year-old great-grandmother has her eyes set on the Olympics. That story coming up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
We continue to watch the numbers add up. Now, it hasn't been a total washout when it has come to some precipitation after that Sunday where we were edging upwards of an inch of accumulation, but we've at least had measurable precipitation here as we rolled over these last 5 days and have brought in definitely more of a wet start to the month and gloomy and cool one as well. Now, we note that we had the low that was tracking on through the area as we were stepping throughout our Wednesday. That is going to continue to bring a cool feel to the air as we look at low temperatures to fall within those 30s. Now, we could be dropping down to that frost level, but what's going to help us is that we do hold under cloud cover and still at least one more day of battling these gloomy, rainy, and cool conditions. Now, the good news is that as we will battle this cold weather for at least another day, we are going to watch that there's a big rebound ahead into this weekend, which will bring us back to more of our May standards. So with climbing temperatures, we're even noting that the potential of having 70 on the board by the weekend, again is looking likely. And even with the warming trend in place as well, we are going to be welcomed with quiet weather. Now, there will be some changes next week, but at least through much of the weekend and into early next week, we hold to some beautiful blue skies. So hopefully we'll be able to use some of this moisture to continue to watch that the greenery is becoming vibrant, especially after such a very quiet winter where we weren't battling much when it came to snowfall. Now, rolling through the forecast here, what we note is that it's not going to be a total washout day, but we're still in that zone that we have still overcast skies and then those showers pushing on in. Now, you can have this more of this north to south orientation. So that's one, that northerly wind going to keep us cooler, but two, that's the high pressure system that is going to start to work its way as well from the west to the east, working that low pressure system out into the Atlantic. So that push is going to what still is going to keep us cooler and gloomy, but not bring us a whole lot of accumulation. We're not seeing too much organization with this last few rounds of precipitation. So as we've been watching, it's only going to be maybe another few hundredths of an inch up to a tenth of an inch possible, but staying under those gloomy skies and that northerly wind, we will hold temperatures within those 50s, from 50 in Wayland, Mansfield around 51 degrees, and Corning around 55. Now, Friday is not going to be a bright and gorgeous day. We'll maybe mention a stray shower, but the skies are going to come brighter by sunset, and just a little bit of that afternoon sunshine can really turn those temperatures around. The springtime season is well in place, so with that higher sun angle, we are watching that those temperatures are able to climb into those 50s and lower 60s, and we see, as mentioned, 70s on the board for that weekend forecast, staying underneath those bright and quiet skies. A few chilly mornings we'll keep an eye on for any frost development there, but as we continue to make improvements, we'll hold on to some of that warmer weather as we work into next week, but we'll start to talk about the return of some of that active weather again as early as Tuesday.